I have friends of different ethnicities, so that's why I don't think everyone's a racist, because people have proven me wrong.
There's somebody out there who has been raised by their culture or their family not to look at skin color.
I don't think so, because I have white friends and black friends, and I think everybody gets along, at least in college. Maybe among like older populations there is that a lot of racism.
Probably, depending upon your definition, because there is a trace of racism that's hard to avoid. Particularly people my age grew up during the 50s and 60s.
Like groups tend to grow together in a clique, so I think in that way people are mostly racist, but not everybody.
I think everyone to some degree has some perceptions based on how they were raised. I think to some extent there's stereotyping, and it's not helped by, media.
Even in the black race, some people are prejudiced against other black people because maybe they have more money. Some blacks don't like lighter skinned blacks, some don't like darker skinned blacks.
I don't know if racism would be the right word. I think it goes down to education and economics. Within the same race, racism would exist, I think, among upper and lower classes.
Well, yeah, because within all races are people, and people are people, and they're all liable to the same problems.
There is racism within certain races. I've seen it within my race. I've seen it within other races, so yeah.
I think it's actually huge. I think it takes a lot for someone as an individual to say, I'm going to feel differently than my parents or my friends or my church. And I don't know how many people are that brave.
I don't think social pressure affects it. I don't think anyone could pressure me to be racist against somebody else.
Whatever scenario we get in, we try to get along, most folks. And if you were to stick me in the middle of a Ku Klux Klan rally out in somewhere and just drop me in the middle of it, I wouldn't be a Klansman, but I would feel pressure in a big way.
We tend to use terms like the South. Well, there's racism everywhere, not just the South. And there's a lot of places in the South where there is very little or no racism per se. So I think that's a trend that will continue. There'll be less and less and less in different groups, less and less in different areas.
No, I don't think racism will ever go away completely because we are human.
Never, racism would never go away just because it's an imperfect world.
It would be a very long time. I think it's possible.
I don't know. I was going to say no initially, but then I thought, in my lifetime, we now have a sitting president that's an African American that won by a pretty decent majority. So I have to think we're making progress. If you expand outside of the U.S. and look at, people's reaction to Haiti, and sometimes I think, gosh, would people be more bothered if the Haitians were all a bunch of blonde, blue-eyed white children that were now orphaned and dismembered? In America, probably.
When we move to the next life, Dr. King said, judge people by the content of their character, not by the color of their skin. I hope and pray that that's the scenario next go round.